Hello. Welcome to our presentation for the District Summer Learning Network's newest tool. My name is Christine Danke, and I'm thrilled to be sharing with you Part B of our Multilingual Learner Summer Success Tool. If you have not consulted the overview presentation or Part A, you can find them on our website. But this video presentation is for Part B, entitled Students First, Conducting a Multilingual Learner Data Inventory. We'll start today by sharing a story of success. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools offers dual language programming during the traditional school year, and they sought to provide their dual language learners additional time to master their students' heritage language skills. Summer became the perfect opportunity to do this, and the district's Dual Language Institute was born. This immersive summer learning experience is now provided for all students in kindergarten to third grade who are enrolled in dual language programs. The Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Summer Dual Language Institute utilizes the same high-quality instructional materials that are used with students during the school year. Yet during the summer, they target specific content and language skills based on their annual assessment data, which is analyzed during the development of each summer's offering. The dual language summer classes are specifically built with small teacher-to-student ratios, about 1:10, in order to maximize students' time for productive language practice. Parents continue to share feedback about the benefits of year-round language support, and district leaders commit to continuous improvement of this institute. This example highlights the essence of DSLN, which is to support districts to transform their summer learning programs to use the power and potential of academic quality, equity, community partnerships, and whole child development, so that more children experience expanded access to opportunity and joyful learning. Obviously, this is inclusive of multilingual learners, but we want to know if your summer learning vision explicitly or implicitly and centers the assets and needs of these kiddos. And if you're just starting out on this journey to transform your summer learning for multilingual learners, that is okay. Our hope is that this entire tool serves you as a professional learning experience. It will meet you and your team where you are in terms of understanding how to serve multilingual learners, and then augment your team's planning processes to explicitly center the assets and needs of multilingual learners. As I shared previously, this tool is supported by the overview document and presentation. And in that, you'll find the research-based best practices and 6 key decision points. The remaining information is broken down into the parts A, B, C, and D that you see here. This presentation is focused on Part B. The intention is to help districts more deeply understand who are their multilingual learners and how well their current summer programming is meeting their needs. As a review from the overview, the 4 research-based best practices are rigorous instruction that is language-focused using a developmental approach in an affirming environment. Rigor for multilingual learners is inclusive of both grade-level standards-based instruction and English language development instruction. Language is imperative. It must be highlighted with consistent, targeted, integrated opportunities to practice reading, speaking, listening, and writing in social registers as well as academic. By developmental approach, we mean providing age-appropriate strategies and scaffolds that support learners to progress in confidence and competence in English and in content area skills. And last but not least, we hope summer will be an uplifting learning space where students' funds of knowledge, their home languages, their background knowledge, their lived experiences are truly leveraged. So, if you are curious to know more about your multilingual learners in your district and their data story and what this can tell you about summer learning, then we believe Part B of the Multilingual Learner Summer Success Tool is for you. Questions your team will consider in Part B of the tool include the following. Who are your multilingual learners? What are their assets and needs? How are you leveraging your students' funds of knowledge during summer? How can you use your state, district, school, and even classroom level data to inform your planning? How are you triangulating your language acquisition data with your core content data? And what are the strengths and gaps of your current approach to gathering evidence of your multilingual learners' achievement? Part B asks these questions in 3 sections and 2 appendices. The sections include using a strengths-based approach to summer programming, asking you to take an expansive view of your multilingual learners, and then the tool supports your summer team to act based on the data you've gathered. Here's an example of some of the content that's provided in Part B. To expand your view, we remind you that multilingual learners are not a homogeneous group of students. They have diverse backgrounds, diverse assets, and diverse needs. And when district teams take ownership collectively of their multilingual learner student data, there are more voices at the table to advocate for specific summer programming that will leverage multilingual learner strengths and support the continued development of language and content for these students. The tool asks your team to then consider this very important question. Of the various ways that you can subdivide your multilingual learner student population for your district, which groupings are most helpful in order to plan for summer programs? You could consider newcomer students versus non-newcomer students, dual language learners, long-term multilingual learners, students with limited or interrupted formal education. You could splice the data by grade, by language proficiency, by type of program. Feel free here to pause the video and consider this reflection question with your team. Then restart the video once you've come to a consensus. Once you know what data would be most helpful, we invite you to refer to the appendices in Part B. Here we offer qualitative and quantitative tools to support you in gathering this data. You can see one example here that comes from the New York State Department of Ed. This is a highly recommended strategy called the Multilingual Learner Shadowing Protocol, or shadowing a multilingual learner for a day. This is a process when you visit a school and a classroom to gain an understanding of the social, emotional, and academic experiences of your multilingual learners. Each selected student is observed for part or all of the school day, but it's recommended at least 3 hours. And observers use this protocol to notate how these students are engaging in learning or using language over this extended period of time. During the process, observers are not evaluating students or teachers or schools, and observers don't even talk to the students or interrupt their learning. Observers track the academic speaking and listening, and then as a team, share their progress with others to consider how learning is occurring for multilingual learners and what implications there are for future. In the second appendix in Part B, we offer quantitative data collection charts that are really plug and play. It includes graphic organizers to collect and analyze student data based on all of these different variables: by English language proficiency, by multilingual learner student group or status, by home language, by language instruction educational program during the traditional school year, by grade, by proficiency on state ELP data versus core content data. These charts are great, and I really encourage you to look in the second appendix to learn more about them. So after your team collects all this quantitative and qualitative data, this tool prompts you with the following question: what processes will your team use to triangulate all of this data in order to paint a more accurate picture of the assets and needs of the multilingual learners you're serving? Here again, we encourage you to take time to pause Think about this question, bring together your new learnings, and restart the video in a few moments. In the last section of Part B, our tool asks you to act on the data you've gathered. The reflection questions are the following. After reviewing your data, what do you want to know more about, and what new questions about your multilingual learners do you have? What additional implications arose from conducting this data inventory? Which multilingual learners might you prioritize in your summer planning, and why? And how does your data align to your district's greater vision and mission of summer learning, which is the focus of Part A of this tool? Now that you've had time to review the essence of Part B with this video presentation, let me ask you, why does this work matter to you? For me, helping educators to more effectively serve multilingual learners is a calling. I've studied the data, and nationally, there are persistent academic and opportunity gaps that exist between multilingual learners and their peers, and I want to do something about it. I believe summer is that special place, and my hope is that with just the right amount of learning, you can enhance your summer programs to be spaces of joy that catapult your multilingual learners towards success. Best of luck on your journey. We encourage you now to pick up Part B of the Multilingual Learner Summer Learning Success Tool and begin your reflections with your team. We also remind you there's corresponding short video presentations for the overview, as well as Parts A, C, and D. For questions, please email summerlearning@fhi360.org.